Okay, so here we've got the 2005 zx6r 636 Ninja stunt build. So when I bought the bike, I paid less than £1,000 for it. It was high mileage, like 50,000 miles, something like that. It had the chopped screen. It had the flipped standard bars above the yokes. It had the Dixer parts, front cage and sub cage, and it had a flippy dipshit tail tidy thing, and this scrape bar that's never seen anything other than a drop. Never seen a proper scrape. I've fitted the clip-on bars, which were not the cheap Chinesey ones. They were, what's that? Probrake, whatever that is. I've fitted the cheap Chinesey buttons. I've rebuilt the master cylinder for the front brake and fitted this remote reservoir. That doesn't seem to be affecting anything at the moment. We'll see how that goes. Haven't drilled a hole for the throttle yet, but I'm still figuring out where I want that. We'll do that eventually. Bypassed the clutch switch, fitted cheap Chinesey easy clutch pull, one finger, cheap Chinesey. That is the small clutch master cylinder. I think it's the 13mm or the 16mm, the smaller one of the two. Haven't adjusted that, haven't played with that. I can't do any of those tricks yet, so this is all just me fucking around, just for the sake of it, because I like building shit. I had to rebuild the front brake calipers and the front forks, and I've used cheap eBay, Amazon front brake lines for now, just because I wanted to get it on the road and see what it's like. I've got a standard front brake caliper on the rear for the handbrake, and that's Bestunt. Is it Bestunt? Caliper bracket, which is quite nice, but I had to find some bolts for that, and you can get spacers for that, but I haven't yet. It's got a Leo Vince end can on it. Sounds quite nice. It was a bit loud, but I'm trying to be careful about what I do where. So I've made up a makeshift baffle for that. It had the 55 tooth rear sprocket when I bought it, as part of his attempted stunt build, but he didn't put a rectifier on, so I've put on the Speedo rectifier, which is quite fun. I quite like that. Wiring that in was quite interesting, and programming it, as long as you get the app to figure out how to program it, it's pretty straightforward. So yeah, I've spent quite a bit, probably spent more on it than it was worth, but that's all the fun. I've also bypassed the side stand switch, bypassed the clutch switch, the safety switches for those. I've left the tilt sensor in for now, because I don't know, it seemed like a good idea, but we'll see if I actually learn how to do anything with it. If I actually find somewhere in England to practice without getting in trouble, I'll consider if the tilt sensor is more harm than good or not. We'll see, we'll play it by ear. Mirrors are pointless. I just think not having mirrors on a bike is stupid, but I don't like barring mirrors, but these ones are just looking at my own hands, so I'll have to figure out something with that. But yeah, brake light, tail light, not happy with it at the moment. It's a bit dim. He had the stupid LED bar across there. I might cut this bracket off Not sure. He had stupid LED indicators that sort of work their way along, but they always die. I mean, these are cheap eBay indicators, but they're bulbs, and I think they look more in keeping with the era, personally. Like I said, still not sure about this tail light. I can't go anywhere without luggage. It's the autism, probably. I assume autism. Gotta have inventory. But yeah, obviously the 2-part tank makes it harder to dent if that's something that you want to do. That's the problem with the 05s. That's why everyone goes for the 0304s, and obviously a long way off doing anything with the rear seat. Oh, the radiator did crack, the bracket. I've just used JB Weld for now, and I'm going to see how that goes. And then obviously if that breaks, I'll have to get someone to weld it properly. Aluminium welding, not something I've done before. Normally I'm a big mild steel man. He had the fans, he's got 2 fans on it when I bought it, but they were wired up to this switch. Which I know myself, I would forget that and I would cook it because of who I am as a person. So I followed Jason Britton's advice and wired it back into the standard wiring, and then just swapped the fuse out for a 30 amp. Sounds a bit sketchy to me because like it's a 15 amp or whatever it was for a reason. But if Jason Britton's been doing it for years and Jason Britton does that way, I trust him and we'll give it a go. It's a 900 quid bike. What's the worst that could possibly happen, he says. Flash forward to me watching the thing burn at the side of the road, but whatever. Anyway, so budget, Ninja 636 2005 in the UK. You don't see a lot of these road legal in the UK. Well, I guess you don't see them road legal anywhere. But yeah. More videos to follow, maybe.